Hey everyone, my friends often show me their bathrooms and I can't help but think that's terrible. They're so impractical and full of design mistakes. In this video, they'll go over common bathroom design mistakes using Pinterest interiors as examples. Let's dive in. Here's the first one. First off, the whole thing feels outdated, and that's mostly because of the black wood. It's that loft-style vibe, you know? Black accents like faucets, a bidet spray, the flush button, or towel warmers. They can work, but this look is kind of overdone now, so we try to avoid black fixtures in new designs. And this wood color? It's not trendy at all anymore. What's good here, though? It's nice that the toilet area and the sink area are separated, but how can we improve this? First of all, the toilet paper. It's the first thing you see when you walk in. It would be much better to move it to a different wall, out of sight. And look at the tiles. They don't line up properly. See? This part has a gap, then this part doesn't, then another random gap. It's all over the place. When you're designing a bathroom, it's best to keep the tile joints aligned at the same level. When you walk in, the first thing you see are those shelves, and they're going to collect clutter. It's better to design shelves in a way that keeps them out of sight. Like you could tuck them into the right wall. Everything in this layout is centered. The faucet, for example. But then suddenly this one thing is off to the side for no reason. What else don't I like here? There are way too many horizontal surfaces. Sure, it looks great in a photo, but in real life, if there's a flat surface, you'll end up putting stuff on it. So eventually, it'll be covered in bottles and jars. Not a cute look. What I do at home is try to minimize horizontal surfaces and focus on smart storage, including hidden niches where you can just reach in, stash something away, and keep everything looking clean without sacrificing convenience. The floor here is probably made of wood look tile. Honestly, I'm not a fan of how this wood look tile looks. I'd definitely swap it out for large format porcelain tiles. As for towel warmers, these days we usually go for heated walls instead. Basically, you embed underfloor heating into the wall and add hooks. I ditch the towel warmer and just go with that warm wall setup. Alright guys, today we're switching things up a bit, and now you're gonna see Vlad, he's our cameraman, joining me on screen. Vlad doesn't know much about interior design. Vlad, tell us, what do you think about this bathroom?
It's clearly a bathroom, that much I get. In general, when I evaluate interiors, two things are important to me. First, how much it stresses out my brain when I look at it, because if there are too many complicated shapes, your brain kind of kicks into overdrive trying to process everything. So I like that there's not too much going on in this one. Honestly, maybe even a little less would have been better. Second thing, functionality.
So would you say this layout is functional?
I'm not sure what this part is for. Like, is this for sitting, standing? What's it even supposed to do?
As for this bathroom overall, I do like that it's not cluttered and the sandy beige color is really nice. I also like that you can adjust the water without having to step into the shower. What else is good? Vlad pointed out there's a little seat in there. Some people like to sit there and pour water over themselves. Sometimes the seat is placed right under a rain shower too. The downside? That shelf, it's going to collect a mess. Not everyone uses pretty bottles. Most likely it'll just be cluttered with stuff. And every time you walk in, that's the first thing you'll see. I'd probably mirror this shelf or add some recessed niches in the side wall, like a small built-in shelf where you can neatly store all the bottles. It would also be super convenient since it's right next to the shower. I do like that there's a vanity here where you can keep towels. And it's not on the floor. It's wall-mounted. First of all, that makes cleaning so much easier. And second, it makes the space feel bigger because you can see the floor and ceiling all around it. Overall, I'd give this interior a solid B+. All right, let's move on to this next bathroom. Time for Vlad's opinion. Do you like it or not?
I like it.
What exactly do you like?
I like it when the bathroom has a spot where you can keep all your stuff. It'll probably get cluttered though, but still, it feels functional. If someone did that in my bathroom, I'd actually appreciate it. Overall, calm, clean, I like it.
All right, let me talk a bit about this bathroom. In terms of visual clutter and mess, same mistakes again. There's a shelf that's going to be packed with stuff. So how do we fix that? In this specific case, see there's a shelf right next to the toilet. You could actually rotate it inward, meaning make this part closed off. Like continue the tile across that section and then place the shelf on the opposite side to store all your essentials. Now you might ask, where do you put the toilet paper and everything else you need next to the toilet? You can make a niche at the end of this cabinet. Basically, add a little shelf that faces toward the toilet. That's where you can keep toilet paper, a toilet brush, tissues, all the essentials. If you look in the mirror, you'll see there's a window. A window in a bathroom interior is a great feature, but here, the window line doesn't line up with anything else around it, so you get this weird little step or offset. Ideally, that step should align with something. It could line up with either the bottom or the top of the shelf. It's nice that this bathroom has a smart toilet, and it actually looks quite sleek. What are the downsides? The toilet kind of works with the shower rail, but ideally the shower rail should be white in this kind of interior. But the faucet is a totally different style. It would be better to make the shower rail white and match the style. And the faucet too, go for a white one, minimalistic and straight line to match the toilet and other fixtures. Basically, choose faucets from the same collection. As Vlad mentioned, there are lots of surfaces here. And while that's not a design mistake in itself, people often clutter them up. So, if you're a tidy person and don't clutter up the surfaces, then it can totally work. The way the tiles are laid out here results in lots of little cut pieces. How do you lay out tiles properly? Instead of starting from the bottom like they did here, you can start from the center. Then adjust the layout so the horizontal lines line up nicely with elements in the space, like here, with that edge or surface. Another downside, the threshold. People are definitely going to trip over that little step. So how do you avoid having a step in the shower? You can slope the floor tiles slightly toward the drain. That way, you get a gentle slope instead of a step you have to walk over. It's much less noticeable than this kind of raised edge. And now, back to our Ask Vlad segment. Vlad, tell us, what do you think about this bathroom? Do you like it or not?
I like the wood and the way it's paired with greenery. If we're talking about my ideal setup, I'd want both a shower for quick rinses and the option to take long, slow baths. It's cool how there's a spot to place things here, and they'll be a bit hidden, not standing out too much. It's great that there's a window too.
Let me tell you what I think about this space. The first thing that stands out is how many surfaces there are, which break up the unity of the space. There's this gap here. It disrupts the flow of the space. It doesn't line up with the step or anything else. Also, it's hard to clean, so I'd rather bring the space all the way down to the floor. The next thing, this gap. Sure, you can put something there, hide stuff, but if you think about the height, bigger jars won't fit. So if you want to add a niche, make it for smaller items, something lower. But honestly, it's too deep. It shouldn't be so deep. Dirt will just accumulate there. I like the warm beige color, but I don't really like this beam that imitates a wooden beam. We try not to imitate anything and avoid drawing attention to the ceiling. So ideally, if you need light there, for example, hang a chandelier here. Why not just hang a chandelier in the center? Or place a light in the center that shines on the ceiling and provides reflected light. About the window. A window in the bathroom is really great, and it's awesome that it's here. It's great that there are blinds you can close. Natural light will come into the bathroom so no one will see you. You can also hang a roller blind besides the blinds, or you can do something like I have at home. Use frosted glass that lets light through, but no one can see you. But the downside is that you won't be able to see anyone either. Now let's talk about some more downsides. Most likely there's no separate shower here, so you'll have to shower in this bathtub, and splashes will fly everywhere. Of course, if you want to make this kind of bathroom, you'll need to plan a separate shower. Ideally, you'd make it all into one block, so you showered in the bathtub, got out of it, and then immediately go into the shower. The drain would be in the floor here, and you'd have a complete block. This is what we're doing in our interior now. What can be said about this interior? Let's call Vlad.
The first problem I see, which is common in Chinese bathrooms, is that you shower and the whole toilet gets wet. And generally, everything around is wet. There's no barrier here. I like that there are these shelves for the shower gel. The light bulb is strange. I think this light will cast harsh shadows on your face in the mirror.
By the way, I see the light differently. Not the way the cameraman sees it. I wouldn't have noticed this moment, but it's actually a pretty cool point.
In the bathroom, I just direct the light at the ceiling so it reflects and disperses, and so that when you walk in the morning, your face looks a bit nicer than it actually does. I don't like this flower. I wouldn't have put it there because it's a bathroom. I brush my teeth here. Why would I need a flower in front of my face?
I'd give this interior a 2 for several reasons. If we look here, the ceiling drops. But why make this kind of tile? The ceiling should have been lowered in a way that the tile lines up perfectly without this piece. The same thing goes for the bottom. There's a strange proportion of this shelf. I would have made it a bit higher for a better proportion. There are too many surfaces to put things on and not enough storage systems, so everything will end up cluttered. And of course, there will be splashes everywhere, so this shower curtain isn't enough. It needs to be bigger. I like that it's fresh with light tiles and green accents, but there are a lot of downsides. The first thing that stands out is these tile cuts here. So of course, all of this should have been planned and the layout brought up to this level so the tile wouldn't reach here. The next point, I think in this mirror, most of the person will be cut off and you won't see them. So the mirror definitely should have been bigger. Maybe make this entire black surface reflective, and visually it would have made the space look bigger. The next point, the amount of storage space. Here, everything will accumulate on these shelves, so there will be a big pile of jars here. For example, it could have been a large mirror here. There could have been cabinets here. The mirror could be opened and you could place something inside. Then, in terms of lines, you definitely need to make sure that the partition lines align with these lines. If I were doing it, I'd position the partition lines so that they match. So there would be some logic to it. You walk in and see the toilet paper. The toilet paper could be placed in the end of the vanity, creating a storage space there. The shelf is on top. It's not very convenient to use. Secondly, it's in plain sight. So I would move it to the wall near the entrance, where the door is. The next point, ventilation. It's a white spot. I'd give this interior a 3 as well. This interior is actually quite good. The only downside is that there's very little space between the toilet and the bathtub. In this case, what would be the best solution? It would be better to turn the toilet towards the other wall and place it like this. If you don't like that, you could, for example, place a sink here, maybe with a vanity and a mirror. The toilet would be placed here and there would be more space. I like the color scheme. Of course, marble above the countertop is also a slightly outdated solution, but overall it's not a major issue. Marble is a timeless material. Right now it's out of fashion, but it will come back, so you can still use it. Not everyone likes shower curtains, but I actually do. In my interiors, I do it like this. If you have a curtain, I'd probably hang it here and place it over there so it doesn't draw attention when you enter. I don't like that two identical materials are used without a step. In such cases, we make small steps to separate them. Well, this is actually a very beautiful interior, despite being inexpensive. It's youthful and stylish, and it works. White plumbing is a fairly unorthodox choice. The tiles, even though they are small format, don't draw attention to themselves, and the top part, as you can see, is done in a way that the ceiling is painted in some color. To make the interior truly stylish, the ceiling could be rounded, as if it were a dome, for example. It's obvious that the toilet here is quite cheap. I would go for a more modern toilet model. The faucet is white, but I would choose a more stylish model. Overall, the interior looks pretty good. A 4 for its youthful style. We need Vlad's help again. Vlad, share your opinion on this interior.
Again, I want to point out the lighting. I don't like these harsh overhead fixtures, but the black ceiling looks interesting. The same problem with the shower. It will spill water all over the room. I like the grid pattern. It looks interesting and unusual.
What I want to say about this interior is that it looks like a showroom, because we can see from the side picture that it's not real. It's just meant to showcase the design style. Wood in the bathroom near the shower is quite a big issue because it can get damaged. It's better, of course, to use tiles. Then you definitely need to install some glass to prevent the water from spilling further. I'm not bothered by the black plumbing here because you can use black plumbing if you like it. It goes perfectly with the black wall and the black ceiling. What's missing here, since this is a showroom interior, is a trench drain to let the water flow here. And of course, there should have been a slope and a small step here to prevent the water from flowing out. If this box and the end part can be made with side access, we could create a small niche here to place jars or items that wouldn't be visible. The same thing could be done with toilet paper. Create a small niche on the side to store the toilet paper and even the toilet brush. This mesh is also a good solution, interesting, but it's not very functional. These lights are glaring. It's better to direct them to the ceiling so they reflect the light or use diffusers. And of course, an interesting solution is not drawing attention to the ceiling, but adding perimeter lighting. This is one of the trends. By the way, I recently filmed a video about trends. You can go and check out which trends are popular now. I filmed it based on an exhibition that took place in China. There are a lot of interesting and unusual solutions there. Go check it out. Something's unclear with the floor because it's at different heights. Maybe it's raised here, but if it's raised with a slope, that's fine. However, if the floor is raised and the same color is used throughout, people can trip. So maybe I would highlight this floor in a different color. As for the black faucets, they don't bother me here. They actually fit well. There are black handles, black elements, and there isn't too much color variety. It looks quite stylish. You can see there's not much storage here. You could hang a mirror and either put a drawer inside it or create shelves on the side to place items. It's inconvenient when you open the shower and water splashes on you. So maybe I would place the faucet on the side so it can be adjusted without getting wet. I like this solution with the laundry baskets, one for white or colored clothes and another for black clothes. It's very functional. Here, it seems like there's a lot going on in a very narrow space, so maybe I would eliminate these lights altogether and create light in another way, perhaps shining around the perimeter like with glass. From a design perspective, I really like this cool solution. This moss around the mirror looks very nice. So it's quite a good interior. I'd give it a 4. What can I say about this interior? In terms of style, it's okay. The installation is flush with the sink. I think it's not very convenient to use this towel dryer over the toilet. I would move the towel dryer to the other wall. A cool solution is that you can stand and see the street. The only thing is that someone from the street might see you, but these blinds are there and they look fine. I don't really like that you can see what's on the shelves. I would try to hide them. And I think there will be a lack of storage space here, so everything will get cluttered and it won't look as nice as in the picture. By the way, the tile layout is done well here. It starts from this edge. You see the tile comes halfway here and fully here. And on the floor, we don't see the cut tile. It's hidden under the vanity. I think the interior is quite balanced and good. I'd give it a 4. It's an unusual solution to use this tile with circles. It draws attention, but the interior looks quite stylish. The toilet is separately enclosed, which is good because it has a partition, so when you want, you can hide the toilet. The only thing is, you see, there's toilet paper here. I'd either place it closer so it's hidden by the vanity or put it on this wall, so it's only visible when you're sitting on the toilet. In principle, the materials are joined in a line, but since it's near the shower cabin, it's not really visible, and it's better that no step was made on the floor because people would trip, as the active print hides the step. I like the separation between the lower part and the upper part, with the upper part made of wood on one side and stone on the other. It looks both youthful and stylish. By the way, I like that the ceiling is black and the shower blends into the ceiling, making it look quite beautiful. I wouldn't highlight the button here in black. I might make it the color of this metal instead. Overall, the interior also deserves a solid 4+. Very cool, good interior. Let's call Vlad. What does he think about this interior?
It's good that there's both a shower and a bathtub. Both work well. I like when there's a wide countertop with plenty of space so I can place things while I'm doing something like putting my phone there or anything else I'm using. The tiles don't seem too expensive. It could be larger tiles in terms of size.
What can I say about this interior? The interior is very good. I like how the interior is designed in terms of volume. You can see that the white tiles are used as the background and the gray tiles are used for the step. It's a good combination. I like the small format tiles because they are arranged vertically. It adds extra texture. I like that they extended the installation further, adding this step. It's done to prevent the space from breaking up. What else do I like? I like that there's a glass curtain here for easy use of the bathtub. The downside, I would say, is that there's definitely a lack of some kind of storage system here, maybe inside the edge of this cabinet on the other side. I wouldn't extend the glass all the way to the edge of the bathtub. I would, for example, put a curtain on the countertop, and in that corner, I would create some kind of storage system to leave some jars or things. It's a very beautiful interior. I'd give it a 5-. Overall, it's a good interior. I like the vertical tiles here. It's quite a trendy solution. I like these rounded edges. They look great. They repeat the rounding on the bathtub. The only downside probably is that you can't see a separate shower. Maybe it's located somewhere opposite, for example, because of course there's no curtain and splashes will fly. One of the good solutions is that there's no towel dryer. Maybe there's a wall with a heating element and you just hang it there. And your towel dries and the space dries as well. It's very convenient. The towel hangs next to the bathtub. You step out, dry off.
I was just sitting here thinking, how would I design a luxury bathroom? This is the kind of option that ChatGPT roughly suggested to me. The stars have aligned here. For me, the lighting is very soft, diffuse. The large mirror, I really like it. And big decorations. I like it when there's one large piece. I don't like when there are many small flowers. But this flower looks like you're in the jungle. And here, this tropical shower looks like a performance. When guests come over, they'll say, "Did you see what's in your bathroom? It's like tropical rain."
There's definitely something cool about having a tropical shower right in the middle of your bathroom, but I guess it's more of a solution to impress your friends rather than for functionality. Lying in the bathtub as if under rain would be difficult. Usually, tropical showers are placed in a separate shower area, but if you want, of course, you can combine them. You can combine, for example, 2 tropical showers, one here and one there, and it would pour there. And also move the shower to this area, so there could be 2 showers here, or 1 shower in the center, and of course not to sit on the toilet, right, or move the toilet somewhere else. What are the downsides here? Well, of course, the step is very dangerous. You'll be tripping on it constantly. Of course, the distance isn't well thought out, right? ChatGPT doesn't make interiors realistic. The ergonomics are violated here. Of course, the bathroom needs to be larger. I like that it follows a symmetrical design. The symmetrical interior looks very good. I like the color, but of course the picture is quite unrealistic in terms of implementation with the steps, the shower above the toilet, and the distances. Well, I think that in the future such programs will be able to design interiors. Write in the comments, would you like to have a tropical shower in the middle of your bath, and would you use it often? What do you think? Well guys, I hope you liked my tips. If you like the format, write in the comments that you liked it. This way we'll know what else to make videos about. Give a like and leave your comments. Bye bye.